Can you imagine that combining tomatoes with certain foods can actually cause cancer and dementia? Even though tomatoes are very healthy, incorrect combinations can turn their benefits into harm. To truly reap the health benefits of tomatoes, it's important to consume them properly. Today, we'll explore 3 foods that are the worst to eat with tomatoes and 3 that are the best to help prevent cancer and dementia. I'm Dr. John. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe and like buttons now. Share this video with your loved ones and introduce them to Dr. John. I promise to bring you the best health information. When we eat, we don't just consume a single ingredient. Ingredients complement each other in taste and nutrients. But just because flavors go well together doesn't mean the nutrients do. Eating foods that don't pair well can harm your body and even lead to serious issues like cancer and dementia. Each natural ingredient has its own beneficial nutrients. Knowing these and integrating them into your diet is the best habit for your health. Dr. John will always be here to support your healthier habits and happier life. Today's focus is on the tomato, which Time magazine has ranked among the top 10 superfoods, a true miracle food. Tomatoes are rich in nutrients like vitamin C, potassium and fiber. They also contain lycopene, an antioxidant. There's even a saying, when tomatoes turn red, doctors turn pale, meaning that eating tomatoes keeps you healthy enough to avoid doctors. But did you know that even with health-promoting tomatoes, certain foods can harm your health when eaten together? Let's find out together. We'll look at the 3 worst foods to eat with tomatoes that can negatively impact your health, and the 3 best foods to pair with tomatoes. First, the absolute worst combination with tomatoes is sugar. Surprised? On hot summer days, it's common to sprinkle a generous amount of sugar on tomatoes, add some ice, and enjoy them sweet, or even pickle them in sugar. But sugar and tomatoes are a terrible combination. That's because sugar destroys the nutritional value of tomatoes. Even if you eat them for health reasons, sprinkling sugar negates all the benefits. When we eat, the body uses vitamin B to break down sugar. So when you sprinkle sugar on tomatoes, the vitamin B in the tomatoes gets used up, reducing the amount our body absorbs. Additionally, sugar consumption raises blood sugar levels, which is an even bigger problem. We all know sugar is bad for our health, and while eating tomatoes with a bit of sugar occasionally isn't a problem, our diet isn't just one food. It's about the bigger picture. Problems arise when we regularly consume refined carbohydrates and sugary meals, and then round off with sugary desserts. According to FDA data on our national sugar consumption, we already exceed the recommended amounts in our regular meals, and the habit of having sweet desserts significantly increases our annual sugar intake. Frequent consumption of sugar-loaded foods can actually shrink your brain, especially the hippocampus, which is the center of memory. When your brain shrinks, as the hippocampus is crucial for brain functions like thinking, planning, judging and remembering, the risk of dementia definitely increases. Beyond type 2 diabetes, it can even raise cancer risk. For your health, it's crucial to reduce sugar consumption starting today. So, how should we enjoy tomatoes? The first best food combination I recommend with tomatoes is salt. It might sound a bit strange, but you might think both sugar and salt are bad for health and should be reduced. Of course, consuming them in large amounts isn't really good, but combining tomatoes with a bit of salt is beneficial, especially since tomatoes are very rich in vitamin C, which is essential for collagen production and cancer prevention. It not only protects your health, but also keeps your skin healthy and youthful. The problem is that vitamin C in tomatoes easily oxidizes when exposed to air. Sprinkling the cut surface of tomatoes with salt creates a thin barrier that prevents the oxidation of vitamin C. Still worried about sodium and blood pressure? Tomatoes are very high in potassium, which lowers blood pressure and reduces the risk of cardiovascular diseases. When you sprinkle salt on tomatoes, it balances the potassium and sodium, resulting in a positive effect on cell and energy metabolism. Additionally, the salt on tomatoes is excreted from the body due to the diuretic effect of potassium, so it doesn't significantly raise blood pressure or cause other side effects. Enjoy it without worries. The absolute no-go combination with tomatoes is spinach. You might think it's beneficial to eat vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes with iron-rich spinach, especially if you suffer from anemia or diabetes, and you're right. For those with weak kidneys, however, this combination is particularly harmful. The issue lies with oxalates. Tomatoes, which can accumulate calcium in the body, are rich in oxalates, and when it comes to oxalates, spinach is perhaps the most notorious source. Even if you're not familiar with the name, you probably know that spinach should always be blanched in boiling water before eating. When oxalates combine with calcium in the blood, they form small, sharp crystals that can accumulate in the body and lead to stones. This can cause muscle pain, reduce muscle strength, and even kidney stones and cancer. Blanching or cooking can effectively remove oxalates, so those with weak kidneys should ensure that spinach and tomatoes are cooked this way. There's an even more important reason not to eat tomatoes and spinach together. The iron in spinach can inhibit the absorption of lycopene from tomatoes. The reason tomatoes are considered a superfood is precisely due to their lycopene content. Lycopene is a wonderful element that acts as a powerful antioxidant, reducing oxidative stress and inflammation in the body and preventing cancer. Studies have shown that lycopene has incredible effects in preventing various cancers, including lung, prostate, breast, and colon cancer. It's also great for vascular health and provides protection against arteriosclerosis and cardiovascular diseases. According to a study by an American medical team, consuming tomatoes with spinach can reduce the absorption rate of this wonderful ingredient lycopene by half. Therefore, it's best to avoid eating tomatoes and spinach together from now on. The third worst tomato-based food for your health is tomato ketchup. Ketchup is the most well-known sauce, often combined with fries or processed foods. While these foods themselves are problematic, ketchup exacerbates the issue. A tablespoon of ketchup contains about 4 grams of sugar, which is more than many chocolate snacks. But that's not all. A closer look at ketchup's nutritional information reveals that it's full of high fructose corn syrup, salt, synthetic dyes, spices, and numerous sweeteners and food additives. Some people believe that ketchup, which contains tomatoes, is healthier than other sources, but the tomatoes in ketchup have lost their nutrients due to processing and various additives. The third and ultimate combination I recommend with tomatoes is definitely olive oil. Here's an interesting tip. Tomatoes actually offer more health benefits when cooked rather than eaten raw. This is because heating tomatoes breaks down their cell walls, making the antioxidant more soluble. Here's the clue. You can increase the absorption of lycopene ninefold by simply cooking tomatoes in olive oil. Lycopene loves fat because it is fat-soluble, which means it is absorbed much better with fats. Olive oil, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, is the perfect companion. The oleic acid in olive oil is a good fat that lowers bad LDL cholesterol and protects your heart. It also helps increase good HDL cholesterol, keeping your heart and blood vessels healthy. Olive oil creates a strong synergy, making this combination a top-notch cancer fighter. Tomatoes are special because their nutrients change depending on how you prepare them. Eat tomatoes raw for vitamin C, or cook them to get even more lycopene benefits. Whether you add fresh tomatoes to a salad with some olive oil or cook them, always use olive oil to maximize the benefits. So far, we've looked at 3 foods that are worst to combine with tomatoes, and 3 that are best. In summary, skip the sugar with tomatoes and use a pinch of salt instead. Instead of combining, choose protein-rich meats and avoideth olive oil. How does that sound? I hope that by choosing the right companions for the nutritious tomato and preparing it correctly, you will protect your health. Thank you for spending time with me. If you found today's guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Please share this video with your loved ones. I will always be here, praying for your health and happiness. This was Dr. John. Thank you.